Oh my goodness, it's always dark, isn't it? I'm gonna talk a little lower because my family is asleep. And this isn't a regular vlog. This is about Jamberry and my ending of it. So I wanted to put this out there because people are probably wondering what happened. Nothing dramatic at all. So I did post on my business page. I'm probably gonna cough. I'm so sorry. You have no idea how bad that hurts. I posted on my business page that I would be moving from a regular consultant to a hobbyist. I think I specified that. I may have done that on my VIP group. But anyway, the gist of it is you have to remain active every month in order to receive an income from the team you've built. And I've chose to, well, I started at the beginning of this year. If I could do passive income and get $200 in orders a month, I would keep up with it as long as possible, but I wasn't going to put the same amount of time and effort in that I had, and I had killed myself doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pay to have a professional website anymore where I could sponsor people and keep building a team, but I'll still be able to order as long as I have a rolling $600 a month annually. I may or may not meet that. So the first thing I want to say is what I needed to get from being a consultant, I absolutely got in the grand scheme of things. When I think of what my life was before, it was June 2014 when I started. I had just had Corbin, and I got involved. I was a kidnapper is what they call you, because the kid had more in it than buying things individually. So I thought, just do it, and maybe the girls will have a go at it. And what ended up happening is I did a fundraiser for the infant loss awareness for the cuddle cots, and it just grew. It grew on me, and I met so many people. My best friends right now, the people I confide almost everything in, and are there no matter what's happening in my life, are because I've met them through Jamberry. So that's number one. Like, I would have never met them. Also, it brought me to Australia. And the ironic part was when I got back from Australia, and I went November, the very end of November to December. I was there partly because Jamberry had opened up there, but I found myself feeling guilty because I hadn't passed out enough catalogs or samples. And here I was, the first time I'd ever left the country, in this absolutely amazing place on the planet, and just gorgeous. And I was feeling guilty because I wasn't working, and that really got to me. And when I got home, I just started thinking about my life a lot more, like one of those existential crisis moments, like, what do I really want? Do I want to be doing this? And then the guilt kind of set in because I had built a big team. I have one of the most unique teams, I think, in Jamberry land, just because we were all so different. We all got along, and my team page was always full of shenanigans and kidding around and craziness. And these were my people, even when we weren't selling a ton. The one thing that brought us together was this company, and I think I was afraid to leave it behind because I don't want to leave these girls behind. They are my people. But we'll keep in touch. I'm just not as active on there anymore. The good things about Jamberry is I did get to fundraise for Cuddle Cots. It was a mission that was so important to me, but at this point in my life, I can't even hear about that campaign now without a sick feeling in my stomach because of the way it went down, the way it ended. I can't even fundraise for that cause anymore, even though I completely believe in it. And when I see that other people are doing it, very, very proud and happy for them. But for me, it makes me feel ill. And I don't want that in my life. There's other things I can do to bring comfort to parents that have lost their children and to be involved in that community. But I can't be involved in cuddle cots anymore. I can't even when I hear about it, it bothers me. So I built my team. I was doing very well. But I found out a lot about myself, and that I'm kind of a lone ranger when it comes to things, projects, or things that actually need done. And with anything, any kind of multi-level marketing, no matter how hard you work, if the people below you aren't meeting you there, for whatever reason, they could be having a baby, they could be moving, they could have broke a toe, they could do any of these life things, and then they feel defeated because they haven't met their quota, and it starts over again at the first of every month. And that just got so exhausting for me. Is okay, I busted my ass this month and I did this. Oh, it's like the slate is erased. And I became so personally involved with my team. I was no longer a good manager because I couldn't sit there and say, well, you need to do what it takes and do whatever it takes. And then that's like a lot of that direct sales stuff is, you know, are you going to go to the next level? Are you going to step out of your comfort zone? Are you going to do this next big thing? And it was like, for what exactly? What is my goal? Is it money? Do I need money? And I didn't need money. Do I necessarily want a sales business? Not really. I didn't really like selling. I mean, a lot of times I would give them away. I love the product. I mean, even though my nails are naked right now, but I'm not really a nail person. I don't know a lot about nail health. I mean, I learned a lot about it, but to me, it was like the slate starting every single month, having to constantly like do all these parties, be attached to my phone, be attached to the computer, and not being able to measure my success on my own efforts. And pause. So where I went in the company was largely dependent on where the people below me went, and I just wasn't real great at the coaching and to do this, because I'm just not a really pushy person, I guess. I don't know. I know this works for people. A lot of people are thriving in this. They love all the team meetings and, you know, the conferences and all that. I'm not that kind of person. If I'm going to take the time and money to travel, I want to relax. I want to see things. I don't want to necessarily sit in an auditorium and be hopped up on. I've been in 2 different companies, one way long ago and now, and the speech is a lot the same of taking things to different levels and pushing yourself and living your dreams. But to me, being in sales means every time I walk out the door, I was having to advertise. I couldn't just go grocery shopping. I had to make sure my nails are done. I have to make sure I have catalogs. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but for me personally, I didn't. I have enough going on here, and I didn't necessarily need to own my own business to have my identity, I guess. So to me, it just wasn't adding up to the life I actually wanted to be living. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I get a lot from it? Hell yes. I met all my people. I learned a lot about what I'm capable of. I did make it up into the top, I think they say 1% once you're where I was. And I learned a lot about time management and how to communicate with people, different personalities, all sorts of things came out of that. But for me, I don't want to keep doing this and keep having to, first of every month, oh my God, I got to make my sales quota. I got to book parties. I got to keep going. And okay, now I've done all this work, but my team has had a bad month and now that affects me. You know, it's exhausting to me. I think emotionally and physically, and I didn't quite enjoy it anymore. And then I started to dread anything to do with it, and that's when I knew this isn't good. I'm not in touch with anything that's going on in the business or with the company. It just became too much. So when I came home from Australia, I actually did this on a piece of paper, like, Melissa, what do you actually really truly love to do? Whether it's possible or not, write it down, you know? So a lot of things came to mind. And it was so funny because I wrote down that I like to organize people's crap. And I always have. I'm obsessed with this show, Hoarders Buried Alive. And I'm like, that's not a job. I mean, well, they have them on there. So I reached out to a local professional organizer here. And it turns out there's only one. And I asked her, do you do like shadowing? Can people, monitor you? I thought it was this big industry here. She was the only one, and she's moved. But she said she had had a lot of people contact her interested, and would I be interested in like a little meeting where she could explain her business a little bit? And I said, okay, I'd love that. And I ended up doing that. And no matter how big the dream was, I thought, just take the first step, and that's information gathering. Do you really want to do this? And so I bought a book, and I'm reading it, and then she sold us a book at the meeting, and I really do want to do it. Now, it's very, very slow right now because I had the baby and then I had this surgery. But I did have a first client to kind of test, can I do this? Is this something that I'm comfortable with? And absolutely I was. And I have all my ideas written down. But I'm not in a big hurry to like launch that business because I do have a small baby right now. And I need to fit what's going on in our life around it. So my steps right now are I'm actually taking video of things I'm doing in my own home, to how we organize for real life living, not Pinterest. And I'm working on a website, logo, all that, affiliate links for products that I personally recommend to keep your house organized, just stuff like that. I'm breaking everything I want to do down into minuscule tasks so that I can actually move forward, even though that my life right now is in complete chaos. So as I'm pulling back from Jamberry, I'm keeping my VIP group, and I can order for people even at a discount. It doesn't bother me to not make an income, just to keep the people that I have served in the past. So I'm still offering customer service. So I have the organizing thing going, and I do intend to take that business to Australia as long as it takes me to establish. You have to do free clients there. That's what I'm doing. And then the move thing is tremendous work right now. Added on to our daily life of homeschooling and all that, we're having to, like I said, go through our possessions, and we're doing it very slow so that it's not overwhelming. Like, here's another stack of books. We're going to do another 20 this week, and then, ship them out. And this stuff is for yard sale. This stuff is for eBay. This stuff is for Amazon. And that's another thing. We're still keeping up with Amazon. Jamie's going into the bigger cities about once a month. And that means he goes into the city, buys all our inventory, comes home. We have to process it, which means removing store labels. And then we scan the UPC into Amazon. They give us like the recommended price. And then you have to print off a bunch of labels, relabel them. Anything that's soft has to have like be put in a suffocation warning label bag. You pack your boxes, you ship them off and all that. So that's still kind of going. In the process of all that, because you're out at thrift shops, because you're out at places, it's recommended. Well, a lot of the Amazon sellers not recommended. Of course, Amazon's not recommending this, but to have another venue to which to sell other kind of items so that you don't have like one stream of income. And this is for people that do this full time. We just did it for me, for fun, actually, and in preparation. If I was to be divorced, what could I do at home in order to supplement income while we split residences? And Jamie ended up doing a whole lot with the Amazon as I had a baby, but blah, 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 Melissa. I actually have a very impressive inventory right now of vintage items for Etsy. I've been collecting those for about 6 months now. So the plan is to get the shop up, and in that shop I will be selling art and handmade things and then the vintage items. So that's still in process. We still haven't got, I have 2 humongous storage bins full of the coolest old crap, and I'm really excited about that because that's when I wrote my passions. I'm like, I love vintage things. Is that really a thing I can do? I wasn't going to just go for that. I was going to look in the Amazon thing, and as I was out and about, I'm like, I'm in one store. I could be stocking 2 different kinds of, shops. And so art stuff. Right now, I'm just playing around with making things for my friends so that I can get better at it. I have a lot of sketches and ideas of just things I've gone through, but I have 2 major, huge pieces that I'm working on that it's taken me months. It's like one of my collages, but it's nothing like just base. Like, it has a very inciting message, both of them. One takes up 4 canvases, and when they're done, I do actually plan to exhibit in Australia, just like as a, amateur artist. But I've already made connections to do that, tapped into that community, and that's a passion I've had for a long time. I just never did anything with it. Well, no big deal. And that's kind of been the theme of my life. It may look like I'm doing things impulsively right now, but it's not. It's all these things I've sat on that I'm looking around like, why haven't I done something with this? Why has my life been all about obligation? And this is ridiculous, but it's the truth. I'll be sitting here, the kids have done school, they've done chores, and everybody's fine, and I'll just sit here like, well, I could be doing, some knitting right now, but then I'd be doing something for me, and that's wrong. That's not wrong. One of my kids are jumping on the trampoline, having a good time. All my responsibilities have been met. I don't know where I get that in my head, that I can't do something I enjoy when I have the time to enjoy it. I'm really working hard to just stop that thought process because it's not healthy. I don't want my kids seeing me like a martyr. That's ridiculous. So anyway, so that's the art thing. It's not a big deal right now. I don't think I'm some fabulous Van Gogh or anything. I'm just kind of getting some stuff out by doing this, and it's relaxing, thinking, and I'm gifting my beautiful friends with things that make me think of them before I leave. That's really important to me. But as I make things that I can't hang everything I make on my wall, I'm going to put those in the shop too. And another big project, Jamie is writing a book. He was writing a book that brings what he does down to a level like somebody I can understand, because I'm not stupid. But you start talking all that nuclear stuff, and I'm like, can somebody get me a translator? I need a translator here, But that's the point, is he actually is good at breaking it down, and we had like I said in a previous vlog, I had contacted a publisher with what our idea was, and I was like, wow, keep going on that. That's good. It is unique. I'm not going to go too much into it just because of that. But I am actually a moderator now in a group that he's created that has nuclear discussion going on. And the gist of it is that these people, because there's a lot of infighting in the pro-nuclear, because those people are very smart and they have a lot of ego, and maybe it's rightfully earned. I really couldn't tell you, but one thing we do know is that in any cause, if the people within the cause are fighting each other, it's not advancing. So that's the first goal of the group. The second is that I am viewing these conversations, and then I go back and say, okay, Jamie, I think I kind of understand what's being said here. This is my paraphrase. Do I have it correctly? And it gives him the prompt he needs to be like, okay, this is something that somebody outside would have a question about, that isn't as educated, that isn't, as knowledgeable at the subject matter. And so he's doing that. And that book project is going to go very, very slow. We're just doing a little bit of time because his plate is so full right now. He just got his materials from Engineers of Australia for the course in project management. He is doing everything he can for this visa thing. He also applied, and we're not sure yet. He is a professional engineer in training. He has had to have 5 years experience in order to sit on the board. Or it's a big, huge 8-hour test to become a certified professional engineer. It's a different thing than a college degree. So any day now we're going to hear if he's been approved to take that big, huge exam. So he'll need to be studying for that. He'll be in classes. He's also actively involved in everything we're doing to get moving. And so I have to support those efforts quite a little bit. And this is on top of, my normal everyday, homeschooling, diapers, baths, cleaning the house as best I can. So in all that, even though it was sad for me to let Jamberry go, I kind of looked around and thought, if I had to run out of the house with my, that thing, if you run out of the house with your possessions, which would you take? If I didn't have time, how would I prioritize my time? And Jamberry just didn't make it on that list because it was so exhausting and there wasn't enough. The juice wasn't worth the squeeze at this point. So I don't regret having gotten into it, and I absolutely don't regret giving it up either, just because at the end of the day, it didn't bring me the level of joy that something that I didn't have to do should bring me. I don't think as an adult we get to pick and choose that I don't want to do this because it doesn't make me happy. We have shit we've got to do every day. Changing diapers doesn't make me happy. I have to do it. Grocery shopping or making the meal plan, not my favorite thing, but I have to do it. Selling nail wraps to make, a couple $100 extra a month, I don't have to do that. There's no point to it. At the end of the day, all of us, we only have 24 hours in a day, and I don't want to waste time, which is the only commodity we have, we'll never get it back, on something that's not filling me up. If I'm going to spend my time on something, it really needs to benefit my life. And I'm moving into a space where I realize that's not selfish. If I'm not over here getting high or doing crazy things, and we don't need the income, and even if we did, I would probably pursue a different avenue that was a little more steady and secure and reliable. And I'm not letting anybody down by doing what I actually want to do. I am not removing my friendship from my team. They will always be my people, and they're going to always be on my Facebook page. I'm going to go visit some of them, and that's that. I'm just going to go to a new chapter of things I actually want to do. And I'm curious, if I can be like this at the end of my 30s, what's it going to be like in 10 years? How much more clarity are you going to have that life is short, and you have to do the things that fill your heart and your soul and feed your mind? I'm not going to be on my deathbed about, wish I would have sold more nail wraps. I'm going to want to have experienced a few more things, Oh, and I bought a guitar yesterday. You guys are probably thinking that's crazy, but I want you to know something about me. It may seem I'm very impulsive because I will announce something, but I have thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. I'm talking for months. And then finally I'll say, there'll be something that'll be like, why are you dragging your feet on this? I am terrible about needing to look at every single angle. It's like every decision in my life is a Rubik's Cube, and I'm going to look at every damn square, and I'm going to look. And then once I decide, and I'm done. that's how I roll with pretty much everything. But like Cassie's like, God, Mom, you're so impulsive. I'm like, did you know I've wanted to learn guitar since I was 16? And I didn't want to take it away from Calla since she's been so good at it. But, and I honestly thought I was too old. I thought that I wasn't good enough and that I couldn't learn something so complicated. But why the hell not? People do it every day, you know? Why not do something I absolutely love? And it bonds me to Calla and to Cassidy and even to Jamie because they all love music. So I was like, why am I waiting? This is so ridiculous. Why do I wait on all these things for no reason? Why am I doing it? I still don't know, but it's sitting in my closet right now. I haven't had time because I've had to deal with some surgical issues, but I love it. Like, seriously, I don't know why I've waited my whole life to say yes to the things that make me excited and no to the things that drag me down. I don't understand where the thought process is, and I've talked to a lot of women out there. We're all like that. It's almost like, well, if this makes me happy, there must be something wrong with it. And I really would like to explore the psychology on that. That if something makes you just light up, what the hell's wrong with that, you know? But anyway, if you're watching this and you do like the Jamberry products, please be on my VIP page. Because I'm not trying to generate an income from it now, I can help you out to get them, you know, at my cost. And then I can keep my consultancy and I can still get a discount on that stuff. I have a ton of wraps right now. I'm actually doing a sale in there. I can't really announce all the details, but there's a lot in there for a really good price right now. Just heads up. So if you have any questions about any of this or direct sales or do I hate Jamberry or anything, you're more than welcome to message me. For me, I would never bash something that so many people are enjoying and so many people rock at. It's changing lives. But I think it's not about direct sales. It's not about this particular company. It's about women saying, hey, shit, I'm good at this and I love it and I'm going to put my time and my effort into it. Flowers that get watered grow, and I just didn't choose to water that particular one anymore. So that's my Jamberry story, and I'm going to get off of here and I guess color a little more because I can, because I don't have to do anything else, and it's a beautiful thing. So you guys have a great night.